So this is my taxi, and there are certain things that you can or cannot do in a vehicle for public use. Yeah, for example,
Uncle, can I please in your taxi?
or don't wear seatbelt or not, right? So things like these sometimes not very clear for passengers. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to explain the do's and don'ts when you are in my taxi. So let's talk about food first, right? So I cannot find any specific regulations or law that says that you cannot eat in a taxi. Unlike MRT and buses, yeah, there are specific law to say you are not allowed to eat in places like MRT or buses, but taxi no. So it's actually up to the taxi company for comfort, right? Because I drive for comfort. The rule is you are not allowed to eat in taxis, right? So do I answer the question? Not allowed to eat, but there are exceptions, of course. You know, sometimes I got toddlers, young babies, small babies, sorry, and they have to drink milk, they're crying. Then how? Right? Cases like that, I will allow them to feed the baby. Of course, baby, you can't wait, right? They are hungry, they must eat. Sometimes passenger will ask, right, Uncle, can I please have a quick bite? Right? Can or not? You know, by right cannot lah. So by left, if for me, right, if the passenger is respectful and ask, that means what? That means they respect the clean spaces I have in the vehicle. Meaning I can trust them to eat carefully without, you know, making a mess out of the place. So if they ask nicely, I will just put a very gentle reminder. Yeah, you can, but please don't mess up the place, because cleanliness for the next passenger. And generally they are okay. They will be very careful. Sometimes I even offer them a tissue, right? But if there are, of course, situation where passengers sometimes just take up their hot dog, or the worst is actually potato chips, right? Because the chips will fly everywhere. Then they start eating without asking. Then I know already, this type of passenger usually just mess up the place because they don't respect, they just take out and eat thinking that they are allowed to do so. In this kind of situation, what do? I will turn around when it's safe to do so and give them a gentle reminder. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to eat in a taxi. How about I stop the vehicle somewhere so you can finish your meal first? Yeah, so generally they'll say, I'm sorry, I'll stop eating. Okay, then yeah, no issue, as long as we put it in a nice way, right? So I think that one is easy to settle, right? How about situation where the passengers bring along a cup of coffee or tea or pao pao cha? You know, I encountered before, it was a morning ride, then this old auntie was taking a cup of coffee, right? So he boarded the taxi and just sleep. I also didn't notice that she has a coffee cup, you know, those tapao from coffee shops, and somehow she dozed off in dreamland. But you know what happened? When I stopped at the junction, then I heard something, boom! I can smell. Wow, why suddenly the grounded coffee smell is so strong? Wow, jialat, the whole coffee dropped and basically flooded my whole taxi lah. So that was quite a big mess. I had to spend about half an hour cleaning up. The auntie was trying to help to clean up as well. But you know, there goes my 1 hour plus of earning. So when I see somebody holding a cup when I wanted to fetch the passenger, I will warn her first. I mean, I will not stop her or him to board the taxi. I will warn her, please hold it tight, because if you mess up the taxi, you have to pay for the cleaning fee. So generally then they will be more careful lah. So yeah, I will try to warn the passengers. I know drivers who stop them from boarding outright, yeah, but I don't do that lah. Unless it's very early, like the chances of them sleeping is high. Then I say, sorry, no food and drinks in the taxi. So that's number one, food and drinks. Okay, how about durians? Durians? I'm sorry, no. No durian in my taxi, including 臭豆腐, right? Because the smell is just too strong already, and it will linger on, and the next passenger who comes in will get it, so I don't allow, right? Okay, next is seatbelt. By law, all passengers inside a taxi must wear a seatbelt. For me, once I fetch a passenger, I'll remind them twice if needed that please buckle up for your safety, right? Important to remind as a driver. Why? Firstly, because if there's an accident, right, a LTA were to do an investigation, right, I can show them through the CCTV, right, that I've done my part by reminding the passenger to buckle up. So after the reminder, if the passenger refused to do so, then I already discharge my obligation as a driver. For passenger, right, what happens if you kena accident and don't buckle up? That will affect your claims when it comes to insurance, so it's not worth it. There are a lot of accidents that they are fatal, mostly because of seatbelts. So seatbelts really can save life. So I hope passenger, you do your part, driver, do your part. We all have a safe journey, right? So seatbelts non-negotiable, right? So next, how about pets? Like cats, dogs, rabbit, tortoise, bird, hamster, all this. For me, right, pets I'm okay. I think the controversial ones like the big dogs, yeah, because some drivers prefer not to fetch big dogs because they share a lot of furs, and then the furs will mess up the place. You need to clean up, right? So some drivers I know that prefer not to get dogs because of cleanliness, also maybe because of religion, because of religious reasons, right? For me, big dogs are okay if they are well behaved. I won't know if it's well behaved lah. So cats totally okay, right? Because I love pets in general. The others I remember once I fetched a passengers with a pet tortoise. She was very attached to the pet. Then she tell me how cute she is. She came back from vet. So she was telling me stories about her tortoise getting sick because some food that she ate, then need to go for injection. The injection cost like, don't know, $60-$80. Say, wow, so expensive. It is expensive to get pets lah. So he was saying that tortoise is so old already, and she can tell she loved the pets very much. So I'm okay with pets, yeah. And some bookings, these passengers sometimes will just put it in a message, say, please note that I'm carrying a pet with me. Is it okay? I believe because maybe the passenger encounter a lot of drivers who refuse their rights because they are pets. Yeah, it happens. It's out of respect they ask. I appreciate that also. Okay, so that's for pets. So before jumping to the next one, I've actually got an appointment today with Sonex at their car center at Kallang Pudding. Sonex is also the sponsor of today's video. Yes, thank you very much. Yay, I got my first sponsor for Lazy Cabby. Come on, let's go. So, when is the last time I disinfect my aircon? Never. That's what I'm going to do today. Right? What is this? What I got here? Sonex aircon disinfectant. Right? One time use only, but super effective. I'm going to put it here, release the air bomb, clears out the system, and it'll be all good. Now let's try it together. In order for the disinfectant to work properly, we have to put it at the lowest temperature. There you go. Then highest fan, let it run. Right, let it run. Make sure all the vents are open. Then when I release the air bomb, you will go inside the duct, do its thing, clear the bacteria inside, and of course all around the vehicle lah. So I'm gonna place it at the car here, right, and let it run for about 5 minutes lah. Let's release the Kraken. Wow, finally it's done. Wow, smells like a new car leh. Not bad, not bad. So these two, you got 3 flavors lah. I did the Havana one, right? You got mint and the other one is original. I tried Havana because something exotic, different lah. So 2 bottles for $29.90 can last you about 3 to 6 months for 1 bottle. So 2 bottles you can use for up to a year. I think it's very worth it lah. It kills what, like 99% of bacteria and mold, right? Because I'm taxi, one day at least 20 over packs, right? 3 months one time, I think is very worth it lah. I put in the Shopee link below in the video description, guys. If you want to support me, buy through the link. I'll get a cut of course, but you help me in my side hustle lah. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Okay, now I think it's the best time to talk about aircon. The question is, can the passenger request the driver to adjust the aircon volume? Right, there's no written rules on this, so a lot depends on the discretion of each drivers. Alright, for me personally, I don't bother lah. So if the passenger say, uncle, it's too cold, right, I will adjust the volume so it's not so cold. If the passenger say, uncle, is a bit too hot, I blast it lah, right? There's an argument to be made that blasting the aircon actually increase the fuel consumption. Yes, it may be true, but for me, I don't bother, right? Sometimes even the passenger will request, can you switch off the aircon? Wind down the window. I understand, maybe he wants some fresh air circulation. He may feel that the aircon is a bit too many bacteria, right? So you feel safer with natural air. I'm fine. I off the aircon, wind down the window. I also happy because long time inside an aircon environment not good for the skin, too dry also. Some fresh air is good. So for me, I a bit chin chai lah. But for some driver, there may be more particular, right? I'll give you an example. Maybe some passenger I know, they would like to feeder the air vent, right? So this one sometimes may annoy the passenger. I get it, right? I get it because you adjust here and there, then later when you get off, you need to readjust the vent again, right? But some riders actually took it too far lah. You know, recently there's a new news about this driver who charged a passenger extra, I don't know, $3 or $5 extra for adjusting the aircon, you know. So apparently he he took it too far. So this forced the hand of the platform to take action against him. So please lah guys, as a driver, exercise your discretion properly, you know, with good reasons. And for passenger, I think at the end of the day is about basic courtesy, yeah, just communication between passenger and driver. Let him know if you need the aircon to be too cold or is too hot. Communication, yeah, this will make the whole ride, the whole experience be more pleasant. Yeah, so that's aircon. You do you, me, I'm more chin chai, right? So that's my taxi rules. The last one, right? The last one is very interesting, right? I got questions from passenger like, uncle, can I smoke in your car? You don't laugh, actually in this day and age, there are actually passenger asking me this, you know. So what I'll do, I'll turn around and look at the passenger to determine if he's a tourist or local, right? If he's Amor or, you know, ABC, American born Chinese or something, maybe he don't understand. Okay, in Singapore, smoking is not allowed in taxis, right? In private hire cars, you cannot smoke inside. So I'll educate him. But sometimes you got Pax who's trying to be funny, just maybe trying his luck. I got passenger message me before in apps, uncle, are you a smoker? Actually, I ignore lah because I don't know. Later I say I'm not a smoker. Sometimes some passengers like after you floor with a message say because I'm allergic to cigarette. I know already. He trying to be nice. He wanted a non-smoker driver, right? Because sometimes I understand the scent of the smell, the smoke is very strong, right? They cannot take it. That one I know. I was a smoker before. Now I quit for so long already. Our nose become more sensitive, right? Then I got some trying to be funny, right? Ask uncle, are you a smoker? Then when he go out, he say, can I smoke or not? Right? He's trying to try his luck lah. Obviously, I say no lah. Come on, this is a taxi. Even if I'm a smoker, I also cannot smoke in the vehicle. It's against the law. So this kind of illegal things you want to try. If he insists, right, I'll point to the CCTV. We have CCTV inside the vehicle, right? Then bo pian already lor. Otherwise, I will just refuse the ride, right? Just like eating or bringing drinks in. By right, you cannot. So if I insist, I can refuse the ride, because it's within my rights to do that. So that's smoking. Some more interesting or ridiculous one is, can I vape? You heard me right? Vape in the vehicle. It does happen, right? They will even ask, right? Obviously no lah. This kind of illegal things, how can I allow that? Then you put me in trouble, right? I got a license to maintain. It can affect our license. So I think that's all for today. I hope this video you learn something new, right? And at the end of the day, it's all about communication, basic courtesy, and respect, a mutual respect between drivers and passengers, so that we make all this pleasant experience. Alright guys, I want to take this opportunity to thank Sonex again for sponsoring this video. I'll see you in my next one. Let's jia you together. Ciao. Bye.